Welcome to episode 4 of Futureshock Access. Today we're going to hear from a furious Zack Gibson, an incredibly confident Tbone, and let's not forget our newly crowned Futureshock Adrenaline Champion. We've just closed the curtains on the first Futureshock Underground show of 2015, and at risk of repeating myself, what a show it was. If you weren't here, you missed history in the making. Top to bottom, every match delivered, non-stop action. This is what happened. One half of the Futureshock Tag Team Champions, representing the Uprising, Ryan Hendricks, fell to hot stuff Joey Hayes of the Models. In an unbelievable debut, the Beast of Belfast, Big Damon O'Connor, overcame the grappler Jack Gallagher after an unexpected cameo by Zack Gibson. Futureshock crowned its first ever Adrenaline Championship in a three-way battle between James Drake, Noah and Sonny Durson. In the end, it was a rising Sonny Durson that made history by claiming the belt for the very first time. In a rematch from Futureshock Slam at Warrington, Lana Austin overcame the greatest star in the galaxy, by her own admission, Nikki Storm, in six-man tag team action. The combination of Sexy Kev and former tag team champions Dave Rain and the Nordic Warrior fell in defeat to Henry T. Grodd and Chris Egan's combination of Cyanide and Deadly Damon Lee. For the main event, a huge matchup, we were joined on commentary by Futureshock champion Xander Cooper, the man for all seasons, the leader of the Uprising. And what happened? Zack Gibson and Tbone clashed and fought to a main event when both Cooper and the grappler Jack Gallagher made their presence felt.
Standing with me is Deadly Damon Lee, alongside his manager, the manager of champions, Chris Egan. And news just in, hot off the press, the upcoming show at the Stockport Guildhall for Futureshock Uproar 80, a match has been announced featuring Deadly Damon Lee, and his opponent has been announced as the one and only, the former Futureshock champion, the former Futureshock Tag Team Champion, Dave Rain.
Dave Rain. It's funny you should say that, Gman. It's funny you should say former Futureshock Tag Team Champion. Futureshock Champion. It makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach that Dave Rain's name features on that long list of champions. And Damon Lee, he's not on it. He's nowhere to be seen. Ah! That makes me sick. Now, Dave Rain, at Futureshock Underground 8, we made an example out of you, Sexual Kevin, and the Nordic Warrior. Well, this time, at the Guildhall, we've got you right in our crosshairs. And we're going to show you up for exactly what you are. Hashtag joke.
Let's go back to Chris Brooker.
The dust has barely settled on Sonny Durson's victory to become the inaugural Futureshock Adrenaline Champion. He's at the top of the mountain, but everyone wants to knock him off. His opponent for the next show, Futureshock Uproar in Stockport, has been announced. Let's go to Gman, stood by with the champion, to hear his thoughts.
Thank you, Chris Brooker. Standing with me is the brand new Futureshock Adrenaline Champion, the rising Sonny Durson, and this just in, hot off the press, exclusively for the folks here on the Futureshock YouTube channel. Sonny Durson, the champion, defends the belt against the #1 contender that's been announced, one half of the Blackpool Blondes, JD James Drake. Now, what are your thoughts going up against the man who you've already wrestled in a triple threat match at our next show at the Masonic Guildhall?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say I'm ecstatic about being the first ever Adrenaline Champion. What I'm not ecstatic about is facing James Drake as my first title defence. See, I just had a match against him, but the problem is he keeps ranting on about how he deserves a shot, because I didn't get the pinfall on him. But it doesn't matter, you got the loss. But see, there's a reason why they call me the Rising Son of Durson. You're going to find that out at the Masonic Guild Hall in Stockport next month.
Zach Gibson was not a happy man at the start of Futureshock Underground, and he certainly wasn't happy at the end. He may be even less impressed when he finds out who his opponent is in Stockport for our next Futureshock Uproar. Let's go to Gman with a Futureshock Access exclusive and find out who he will face.
Zach Gibson, Liverpool's #1. This just in, hot off the press, the upcoming show for Futureshock Wrestling is Futureshock Uproar at the Stockport Masonic Guild Hall. And your opponent has been announced, and it is Warrington's own Sexy Kev.
Sexy Kev? Are you having a laugh? I came back to Futureshock Wrestling, and you're feeding me Sexy Kev. Right, let's talk about Sexy Kev for a minute, okay? Sexy Kev is a good little wrestler. He's a good little hand for the opener. You know, he's a good little technician. He does a few nice little moves. He does a good little dance for the birds. But Sexy Kev is not even in my league. Why on earth would they put me in the ring with that little weapon, Sexy Kev? I have held out and held out and held out for more money from Futureshock management. Now they finally give me it. They're going to put me in with that little worm. Sexy Kev, at the Masonic Guild Hall, you're going to find out exactly what all of my prior opponents already know. That I am Liverpool's #1. And that you are not in my league. And Jack Gallagher, the Futureshock Golden Boy, I hope you're watching, lad. I hope you're watching, and I hope you're taking notes. Because Futureshock Wrestling belongs to me now. It's back in the hands of its rightful owner. And your days on top are numbered. So prepare yourself, lad, because you're going to get dropped.
After the conclusion of our main event at Futureshock Underground, tensions continue to run high between Tbone, the Futureshock Trophy Tournament winner, and the man for all seasons Xander Cooper, the Futureshock champion. Turns out that Tbone has a particularly interesting challenge ahead of him. Let's head over to Gman, who stood by with the Trophy Tournament winner.
Thank you, Chris Brooker. Standing with me is the 2014 Futureshock Trophy Tournament winner and the #1 contender for the Futureshock Championship, Tyson Tbone. Now, Tbone, rumour has it that now you have challenged Xander Cooper for the Futureshock Championship. You're cashing in the trophy. Xander Cooper has put a contract out on you because, of course, between now and April, there's more Futureshock shows. Of course, we've got the upcoming Futureshock show at the Guild Hall. Now, rumour has it, he's hired somebody to try and take you out. And I believe that you know this person very well. It's none other than Yeston Reese.
You see, like you said, he is someone I've had a past with. He's also someone who I've never beat. Well done, Cooper. Yeston Reese isn't just someone of a lot of capabilities. Yeston Reese is 6'6" of absolute muscle. Yeston Reese is going to find out the same as Cooper. Now is my time.
Standing with me is Sexy Kev. Commiserations on your loss in the six-man tag at Underground 8. But I'm sure you've just seen the interview I conducted with Zach Gibson, and he says that you are not in his league going into your match at Uproar at Stockport.
G-Man, I've seen the interview. Zach Gibson, you say I'm not in your league. I say I'm in a league of my own. A sexy league of my own. I mean, look at the biceps. Look at the traps. Look at the buns of steel. Zach Gibson, we're going to go one-on-one at Stockport Guildhall. And I'm so excited, I'm going to ride the Sexy Express. Right there, right now.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sexy Kev riding the Sexy Express. Let's go back to Chris Brooker. Choo-choo!
Thank you so much for joining us for an incredible episode of Futureshock Access. Make sure you stay up to date with all the latest news from the Northwest, hard-hitting, heart-stopping home of family entertainment. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to us right here on YouTube. Above all else, make sure you go to www.futureshockwrestling.co.uk for DVDs, to find out about downloading and seeing our shows on demand via WrestleTalk TV, but above all, make sure you buy your tickets, because you do not want to miss a single moment of action. You've been a pleasure. I've been Chris Brooker. See you again on Futureshock Access.